Hey, Truth Be Told, Captain Ron here for Tony Sweet and Captain Ron. We are, Truth Be Told, live at Contact in the Desert. We're having a ball. This gentleman, Jason Quitt, we had on last year, and he was very interesting, and he's very forthright. He's an experiencer with a very unique sort of different abduction experience than we're used to hearing. So Jason's been kind enough to sit down with me for a few minutes and talk about his experience, basically. Jason, why don't you give us a quick rundown of like what happened to you?
Sure. I would say my entire life I've been an experiencer, and for me it's more been like paranormal. So I would think I'd be visited by ghosts, like as a child, like I'd have a shadow being in my room, like in the closet, and at night it would take me on journeys or show me things or just scare the crap out of me.
So you didn't think it was normal then? You thought it was a scary thing?
Yeah, it was just like a scary paranormal ghost thing, and for sure my house was haunted as a child. I heard noises in the house, I heard voices and people speaking in the house that weren't there. Lights would turn off and on. You know, you hear the TV on in the basement.
What'd your folks think about this?
Well, my mother would yell at me, "Jay, you left the TV on in the basement." And I say, "I was never in the basement." They're like, "You know, you're lying, go turn the TV off."
That's a tough excuse to tell Mom that the ghost turned it on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But the craziest thing about it is I would start going down the stairs to turn the TV off, and by the time I got there, the TV would be off. So what is going on in this house?
Nutty.
Right, nutty house. And so these kind of experiences followed me through life, and it started to get more intense. It started to get into past life experiences where suddenly I'd have like a download of memories and emotions and just remember lifetimes of me with different people that I knew in this lifetime.
So past lives of your own.
Yeah, past lives of my own and other people that are currently living, which are friends and family. So I would recognize, let's say, a friend and say, I had this past life with you. And that started to come to my life very early on. I would say past life started to come around the age of 5, and then it really started to get crazy around the age of 11. And then when I would tell my friend, do you remember this life we had together? They would look at me like I'm crazy. So I knew that I had to kind of just... You know,
I don't remember my own life at 5, let alone previous lives.
I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday,
right.
But I could remember pre-birth memories. So it's like,
unbelievable.
How does this happen?
That's such a unique thing. What do you think? You're tapping into some sort of...
Yeah, I think that for some reason these things come out of the DNA or come out of our consciousness to allow us to either release and heal them, or maybe it's past memories that we need to shift and change who we are and experience this world.
It feels Edgar Cayce-ish, the way he sort of tapped into the Akashic Record and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and he did it through sleeping. And it's the same thing with me. I would say 99% of all journeys, messages, past lives, 99% of that happens when I'm sleeping or the in-between state. And I think that's the most important thing, is there is like an in-between state between waking and dreaming. And if you can just stay in that in-between state, suddenly you have this access to this information.
Well, that's what they say, like ayahuasca and some of these other psychedelics can take you to that realm-ish.
Yeah. And I completely agree. I've done ayahuasca before.
Oh, you have?
Oh,
Did
yes.
you feel it went to the same place, or is that a different place?
For me, it was very different. For me, experiencing those type of plant ceremonies, it actually took me to a place of great clarity, I would say. I could visually see the light within my body and around my body, so it was a more visual effect. Whereas that in-between state, it's almost like you have access to another world completely, and you can just leave your body, and now you have this multi-dimensional portal or gateway, and there's beings there. And that's I would say the coolest thing about these type of experiences is that, you know, you hear stories of aliens or these type of beings, and people talk about them like they can see them with their physical eyes. I can never see them with my physical eyes. I can feel them enter the room. So I could feel a presence step into the room. But when you leave your body, suddenly it's like me and you sitting here together. So I can only see you out of body, and then when I wake up and come back to my body, you're not there.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe that's why people don't take pictures of these guys, if that's what's happening, right? Because they're not really on that physical plane with you.
That's right. So for me, the way that I experience it, it's a multi-dimensional experience. So they say, okay, take photos, or get them to sign their autograph for you. It's not going to. They don't even tell you their names.
Well, if they sign an autograph for you, what proof is that? I got an autograph from an alien.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Here's like a paw print or something.
Right.
But
so is that still continuing for you till this day?
It still happens to me, not as frequent. The main time in my life where it really, really happened was in my early 20s, between the ages of 22 and about 27, 28. That's when it was rampant. Like maybe once a week I'd have these experiences. So I got a lot of practice dealing with these outer body states because it happened so often. And then as I got older, as I met my wife, got married, had a life and mortgage, and
And what's the wife think of all this stuff?
Oh, she's crazy like me.
Oh, okay.
So we have great conversations of other beings, and she's actually very, very psychic. So she'll even tell me stories where she'll wake up in the middle of the night and she'll see like a being standing by me at the edge of the bed, and she'll be like, Jay, there's this being at the bed last night, like with you. Do you remember that? I said, oh, don't worry about that. They were just coming for.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you this then. If she describes that being to you,
Yeah.
is it exactly the same way you would describe it?
Yeah, pretty much.
So she is seeing the same thing that you're seeing.
Yes.
Well, that's a little bit of a collaboration there.
It's a little bit of-
corroboration. I mean.
Yeah, but sometimes we freak each other out. Like, and this goes back to like the paranormal type of thing where, I'll be sleeping in bed and I'll see her walking around the bed, and she'll come and sit on the bed with me, and I know it's her, and then she'll like walk out of the washroom and come to bed, and I jump out of my skin like.
It's amazing you're still scared by this stuff. I mean,
Yeah, because it just catches you off
sure,
guard.
absolutely, good. Yeah.
It just catches you off guard, and I don't know if that was her, or a duplicate, or a spirit, or something pretending to be her. So these things do still happen, and I put it in the realm of paranormal, just like the alien experiences. I put that in the realm of paranormal because for me, it's like an altered state of consciousness that taps into these beings or these worlds, for me.
Well, it's good to see you back here at Contact in the Desert. Why don't you tell us like what happened in the last year since we've seen you?
Well, since the last year, it's been quite a hell of a year. I broke my back.
Every week for you sounds like a hell of a week.
Well, I don't know why, but I have a lot of hard lessons to learn in life. I don't know why, but I did break my back in 3 places this year.
Good Lord. As if you don't have enough problems with that other nonsense.
Yeah, so I fell down a flight of stairs in the dark.
Oh, my God.
And, it was a grueling time, but...
Now, do you think there was anything nefarious going on there? Somebody pushed you, or any
the
of your haunted...
The only thing I could comment on that is that I was not present. During that time, I was very stressed. I wasn't thinking about where I was walking or going. I had my mind completely somewhere else. And because of that, it's very easy to make mistakes. Sure. And it's very easy to open yourself up to nefarious things when you're not present and grounded. So it's a big lesson for me. But luckily, my background is in healing and shamanism. So after I got back from the hospital and they put the 2 rods and 10 screws up my vertebrae,
Jesus.
I did not take any painkillers.
Wow.
I did not take any medication. I used pulse magnetic field therapy, light therapy, so things that are like Tesla technology, 100 plus years old. But I used what I learned in shamanism and healing to build energy and move the energy through my body so I could heal myself. That's what I did.
That alone is an amazing story. You got to write a book on that next.
I need to get some time in my life to write down all these stories.
Well, that's great. Well, Jason, we really appreciate you coming back on. Good seeing you again. We're going to let him get back to his table, and we're going to go on from here. For Tony Sweet, I'm Captain Ron, and this is Truth Be Told.